So if you've been around here for any bit of time at all, you know that my channel has died more than once. Like, it has been dead in a grave, buried with no life twice. Probably more, but like twice that I've documented. And the really cool part is that I've brought it back to life twice. I mean, that's saying a lot, right? Because normally you can't bring things back to life, but we're over here doing it, proving things wrong. And I've watched other people bring their channels back to life too, and I don't think it's this like huge secret or like crazy thing that you can't do or that like only certain people can do. So I wanted to talk about what I've done to revive my channel both times, what's worked, what hasn't, and what I think my advice is if that's you. Like if your channel's like done and you want to try and bring it back to life. So first of all, like why were my channels, why was my channel dead both of these times? Like what caused my channel to die? And both times it was slightly different. The first time was kind of my fault, kind of not my fault, because it was after 2020. So my channel, along with a lot of people's channels, especially channels who taught people how to work from home, make money from home, do the things to passive income, skyrocketed in 2020. My channel had the best year ever in 2020. 2020 was one of the better years in my business, honestly. And it wasn't anything I could have anticipated. It was just that everybody went home and started watching more YouTube. So I had this massive spike, and then after that I had a massive like decline. And that was essentially how my channel died before. And what I was doing then was kind of just continuing to do the same things I had been doing, and they just weren't working anymore. So I needed to kind of switch things up. This last time that my channel died was totally 100% my own fault. I was burnt out, and I didn't realize I was burnt out, but I was burnt out, and I was like, screw it, burn it all down. We're gonna put contributors on the channel and just let the channel just go. Like, I'm just done. And that sucked. Not because the contributors were bad, the contributors were amazing, but because one, it was super abrupt. Like I just told y'all and then there were contributors and then I was gone and that was it. And then two, because obviously y'all were here for me and you weren't watching the contributor videos as much. So then YouTube was like not showing the rest of my videos as much. And so when we got to the end of that period where I was like, wait, I think I made a mistake. My channel had gotten to the point where it was getting very few views from the new videos or the old videos. And in a video from right around that time, right when I came back, I'm literally showing you the analytics where I was like, see, it's dead again. It's my fault, but it's dead again. And giving you kind of my plan to revive it and bring it back from the dead. And y'all, both times I've been able to do it. Both times I've been able to bring it back pretty quickly. Honestly, I think this time was like easier because as soon as I started coming back to the channel, y'all started coming back to the channel, and then that signaled to YouTube that like people were watching the channel more, and then you know, my views went up and all the things. So I think this time was a little bit easier because it wasn't like completely redoing my entire strategy. It was more of, okay, let me go back to what was working before I had the contributors, and that kind of fixed it. But here's my revival strategy, both times. And not only the revival strategy, but what I think is working on YouTube right now to where even if you're a brand new channel, you can use these strategies to skyrocket your growth. Because I don't think this is just significant to existing channels. I think this is working on all the channels, you know? Okay, so both times that my channel died, the best thing that I knew to do, the thing that I knew would help it the most was just to revert back to the content that I knew did well. And this is something that channels all over the place can do. Like literally you should be doing this whether you're new or old or whatever. Because if something has done well on your channel in the past, it is likely to do well on your channel in the future. Because YouTube is like, oh, that's the person that talks about that. People are gonna love this. Let me show more of it. Or your audience is more likely to watch, and then that signals to YouTube that they wanna watch more of it. So this time, I really went back and was like, okay, what was working before I brought in the contributors? What can I go back to? And how can I really like reignite the algorithm to be like, oh yeah, this is the girl we remember. Let's go back to her. So let's just like look at what the videos are that I did after I came back. Okay, so let's actually go back to pre-contributors. So these thumbnails that look like this are the contributor videos that I've left up. I took a lot of them down that were just like not getting good views and not doing well for my channel, or that were going to maybe bring in people that wouldn't care about the rest of my content. So you can see here that like the thumbnails that don't really have a face in them were the thumbnails we tested out during this contributor thing, and they didn't do super well. So before contributors, BC, you know, before contributors, I was getting on the regular about 3,000 views per video. You can see here, this one had 7,000, 3,000, or 3,400, 3,200, 8,000, 3,600, 9,600, 33,000, which is an anomaly, but that's okay. 8,000, 5,000, 42,000. But if you'll take a collection of my view number pre-contributors and leave out the ones that did really well, like, you know, and exploded, my average view per video was between like 2,500 and 3,500 views per video, okay? So then we come up to the contributors, and some of these I left because they did really well. Some of them I left because the topic is still really relevant, whatever. And you can see that immediately. This one got 1,300 views. This one got 1,100, 1,200, 1,700. There's one with 3,000. This is one of me that still didn't do super well during the contributor time. 1,200, 29,000. So this is one of Sahar's videos. Oh my gosh, I love her so much, and she knows her Pinterest shit. So this is one of her videos, and it's done super well. And of course, I've left it on the channel. And then we've got 2,000, and this is one that's like 1,300. Here's another Pinterest one from Sahar that's almost 6,000. One from me that's 3,000. But you get the gist. Like, ignoring the like Sahar videos because she's amazing, and Pinterest is obviously a topic y'all care about, it was about 1,000 to 2,000 views per video during that time, and these are the ones that I left up because they did the best. Like, there were some that were like 200 views, 400 views, 700 views, and when you were coming from 2,500 to 3,500 views before contributors, that was rough to watch, right? So then I came back, and since I have come back, I have had this video do 3,800 views, this one 3,900, 4,300, 3,200. So literally right back to the views I was getting before contributors, which, by the way, should also tell you that doing something, experimenting with something that maybe doesn't do super well on your channel does not completely kill it, right? Like, it felt dead in the moment, but it wasn't dead because I was obviously able to get right back to those numbers as soon as I brought myself back to the channel. Then we have one that's like 51,000 views since I've been back, 14,000 views since I've been back. This one didn't do super well, and that sucks because it was a sponsored video. By the way, that's just another, like, just a little pin, a little PSA. If you see a creator that you love doing a sponsored video, you should probably watch it even if you don't care about it, because it will help them. Just saying. But we got 3,800 views, 10,000 views, 3,600 views. You get the point. Like, the videos have done pretty well since I've come back. I've gotten right back to that place I was before contributors. And there's an anomaly here. Actually, there's two anomalies. So I wanted to try out, which tells me that this does not work. I wanted to try out talking about editing on my channel a little bit more, because I definitely, like, know how to edit and can share some things. I'm not like a professional editor, but I can like share things like how to remove video backgrounds without a green screen, or how to edit like vertical videos. Y'all don't give two shits. You don't even give one shit about that. So as evidenced by the fact that these are my two lowest viewed videos since I've been back. So that's just that. But for the most part, ignoring those two, everything has kind of come back up to normal. This is a vlog. My vlogs never do super well on my channel. So everything has kind of come back. So that was like strategy number one. Strategy number one was, okay, go back to what you know. Go back to what you know. Go back to what you know does well. So if you've done something on your channel, or just stopped posting on your channel or whatever, and it feels a little bit dead, go back to what you know. That can help tremendously. But I did some other things too to make sure that it like popped right back over. And honestly, one big thing that I did was to create content that I wanted to create. Now, I didn't constantly do that because I needed to be creating content that I knew would do well in the algorithm, but I still created content that I wanted to create, because if you're creating content that you enjoy to create, like content you like to create, content that lights you up and makes you excited, it's going to come across in your videos. And when it comes across in your videos, people watch more of your videos. And when people watch more of your videos, YouTube's like, oh my gosh, we love what's going on here. Let's show more of their videos. So going back to my channel, of the videos that I've done since I came back, yes, I've done several videos that I know will just do well in the algorithm, right? But I've also done several videos that I wanted to do, and those have done super well. For instance, let's like get my ish together. I wanted to do that. I wanted to make that video. My favorite purchases of 2023. I wanted to make that video. The creator curse. I wanted to make that video. Personal branding for the multi-passionate creator. I wanted to make that video. These were not things that I had done before to where I thought it was just gonna like do super well in the algorithm. Now, some of them sucked. Some of them didn't do well. So I have this one that's like 6 ways to spark creativity now that I was really excited about. Didn't do well. You might be boring. That was one I wanted to do. This vlog from Social Media Marketing World, again, one I wanted to do. Vlogs do not do super well on my channel, but it did okay. So you win some, you lose some. But what I can tell you is when you're passionate about what you're creating, when you're excited about what you're creating, when you're creating from a place of like, oh my gosh, I'm a creator and I get to do this for a job and like, I love it so much, people feel that. People feel that, they wanna watch it, they wanna come back, all the things. Now, the other thing that I did both times that my channel was dead, I was trying to bring it back, was that I kind of put the me back in my content. So instead of trying to have this like robotic, you know, how-to videos, that kind of thing, I put more personality and more me back into my content, and that brings the channel back to life every single time. And this is a really, really big one for those of you who maybe starting a channel, or again, you're trying to bring your channel back to life, or you're seeing like stagnation on your channel. I just don't think how-to channels are where it's at. I don't think that having a how-to channel is your way to full-time creatorness. Now, it might be for a while, but eventually it's going to fizzle out. Eventually there's going to be a ton of competitors. Eventually you're going to get tired of talking about it. Your audience is, like, all the things. I really think where people are thriving is in channels where, you know, you might teach something, you might talk about something, but for the most part, the channel's about you and your interest and your passion and your excitement and your personality, and bringing that into your videos is going to help every single time. I really like sitting here in this chair to record. I need to find like a better way to light it though, because it's in between two windows and it's not good when I'm like, I have to sit like all like scrunched up in the chair, and it's just not good all the time. I actually was gonna film this video with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 that I reviewed last video, but it's in the car and my dog's asleep and I need him to stay asleep so I can finish these videos, and so I didn't go out and get it. Okay, the last thing that I want to talk about is something that I feel has helped me bring my channel back, and when I don't do it, I feel it, and that is to post more often. When I killed my channel the first time, when I brought my channel back, when I brought my channel back the second time, my goal was to post twice a week here on YouTube. And I was like on a roll of doing that. And then over the last like month or so, I have sucked at that. So in the last month, I've only published 4 videos, and those were kind of sporadic. And so I'm gonna show you what my analytics look like from doing that, because even if I would have published once a week, I should have published 5 videos in April, and I only published 4 because things just kind of went off the rail. And to be honest, I kind of lost focus on what was going on and what I was doing and what my priorities were with the channel and all the things. And also I was still trying to feel my way into what kind of content I wanted to do, what I didn't want to do, all the things. So anyway, when I first came back though, I was doing 2 videos a week, and that drastically helps my analytics every single time. And when I don't do that, when I go down to 1 a week, I mean, yeah, of course, like it's going to hurt your analytics a little bit because there's like one video spiking views 1 day per week rather than 2 videos. But I can honestly see a huge difference in my income, in views on old videos, and things like that when I'm only posting 1 a week versus posting 2 a week. And here's the thing. I love being a creator. Being a creator is so much fun to me. And if I'm not creating content on the platform, then I'm not being a creator, right? And so really thinking about like, okay, yeah, I know I've been busy and I've had other things going on and I'm about to head into like a really busy season with my kids because summer is always a little bit crazy when your kids play a million sports, and like my oldest son is going into high school and we've gotten the 2 sports he plays, we've gotten their summer workout schedules. Crazy bananas cuckoo pants. So, you know, I'm about to go into a crazy time too, and I kind of put off the videos over the last month as a way to catch up on some other stuff with work. But if I want to be what I want to be, then the videos need to be main priority. So we'll fix it, but it's not the point. Okay, so when I pull back the view to the last 90 days, you can kind of see here that everything kind of went down in April when I stopped posting, but stopped posting as much, but you can't see it drastically. Like there's not a real drastic thing here, but if we click see more, then you can see it drastically. So this one video, it was already on like a downward slope, but when I stopped posting as regularly, it really came down. But also these 4 videos, which were my other top 5 videos during this 90-day period, they were up here and then they sloped down. And my analytics as a whole went in the negative when I stopped posting as well in April. So one of the things I will always advocate for if you're trying to bring a channel back or you're trying to revive a channel, or like for me where April, like I can tell my analytics kind of went for a swim in April. Anytime you're trying to just like zhuzh it back up, post more often. Now, I don't mean to post all the time, because there is such a thing as posting too much on YouTube for sure. But 2 times a week for me seems to be the sweet spot, and it seems to be the spot where things start to kind of like take form again and keep moving forward. Okay, I hope that was a fun little look at what I did to revive my channel. And also maybe some lessons whether your channel's dead or not. But I also need you to know that being a creator is like a roller coaster. And I hate roller coasters. But it's a roller coaster. It is not this like linear path where you're constantly in an upward trajectory. It's not that way with business either. Like it is a roller coaster. There's ups, there's downs, there's things, there's, you know, there's shutdowns, there's like whatever, right? And so we can't be so caught up in the analytics that every time something dips, we're like, oh my God, it's dying. Because that's definitely not the case. And I've had way more dips than I have had like channel actually dying situations, you know? But also, it's okay. Like, you can bring it back. Like, if the algorithm has loved you at one point, you know enough to bring it back and make it love you again. If your subscribers loved you at one point, you know enough to bring them back and make them love you again. And I guess that's the main point of the video. So anyway, I'm excited to get back to my 2 times per week posting schedule, to get everything kind of back on track after I went off the rails a little bit. And I'm really pumped for my content calendar in May because I'm doing a lot of content that I just am excited to do. Yeah, it's stuff that y'all are gonna love too, of course, but it's just stuff that I'm like so pumped about. So super pumped about that, so stay tuned. And until next time, bye y'all.